All right, so let's get to number one. No surprise here, but let's do it. Come on, you all know the legacy, you know the achievements. 6 finals MVPs in 6 tries. Kareem, who we just talked about, was on 6 championship teams. He came away with 2 finals MVPs. 5 league MVPs. 10 scoring titles. 3 more than the great Wilt Chamberlain, who had the most dominant prime scoring period out of anyone in NBA history. He won steals title, Defensive Player of the Year award, something that Kareem never did, even though it was invented very late in his career. Highest points per game in NBA history for the regular season for his career, 30.12 points per game. In the playoffs, NBA record for a career, 33.45. Average 31.5 points per game, 51.5% shooting as a Bull against fierce defenses, hand checking. There was no defensive 3 seconds. He could clutch, grab, shock, wrap up away from the ball.
Hey, he averaged 37.
Yeah,
he averaged
topped out at 37 points per game in 86-87. His best all-around season looked like this: 32.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. 2.9 steals, pretty damn close to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson's greatest seasons, just more scoring. An amazing 54% shooting. 54% shooting. He also played point guard that year in 88-89. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Jordan had 5 seasons over 32 points per game. 5. As a wing player, averaged 33.45 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 5.7 assists, 49% shooting in the playoffs for his career, unmatched. His numbers in the finals looked like this: 33.6 points per game, 6.0 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 48% shooting from the floor, 36.8% shooting from three-point land, unmatched. 6 for 6 in NBA Finals appearances and 6 for 6 with Finals MVP awards, like I said. If you want to play the what-if game, if he hadn't, like we did with Magic, if Jordan hadn't retired twice, he likely would have at least 2 to 3 more scoring titles, 2 to 3 more MVPs, and 2 to 3 more championships, Finals MVPs.
Do you think he would have been able to get to that record for most points of all time?
Yes. He finished top 10 in MVP voting every single full season he played for the Bulls, 11 years. That's taking away the ankle year. He was only 1 season short of finishing the top 5 in MVP voting every single full season he played for with the Bulls, with 10 top 5 finishes out of 11 full seasons. He also finished in the top 3 in MVP voting in 10 out of 11 full seasons he played for the Bulls. So basically every year he was in the top 3 in MVP voting. He was the runner-up to the MVP award 3 times. Some would argue he should have got it all 3 of those years. There was a misconception that the media shouldn't vote for Jordan every year because it wasn't fair to the other players, even though Jordan was the most deserving player for the MVP award at least 8 times. But he'll take his 5 and live with it, I'm sure. To cap it all off, he even finished 13th in MVP voting while playing for the Wizards at the age of 38. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Let's finish it off with the soundbite.
Number 1, Superman, Michael Air Jordan, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
What more can we say, man? I mean, he changed the game of basketball, man. I mean, these guys, LeBron, Kobe, at least LeBron, he at least admits to it. They all looked up to him, and they grew up to him, and they modeled their games after him. And Dwayne Wade even admits it too. He dreams of just making them game-winning shots like Jordan. The thing about Jordan, I think he's the only player in league history that can win that title and not have a dominant big man. the only perimeter player to be the number one dude like that, and not win.
Yep.
Not. I mean, we can just look down the history of the teams that have won it. They had a dominant big man, maybe not Hall of Fame worthy, but they were dominant at that point in time. And he
as an offensive player.
Yeah. Yeah, and
or in Bill Russell's case, he had the amazing sporting cast.
Exactly.
Jordan had help. Let's not paint it as Jordan didn't have help. He had help. He didn't have no damn Shaq. You know, he didn't have no damn Duncan. You know what I mean? He didn't have no KG. He didn't have no Dirk.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even have Pau Gasol. Let's be honest. He had Horace Grant, who's a very good player. Look, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He was a very well all-around player, good rebounder, great defender, you know, a solid offensive player. But he wasn't, you know, a go-to guy. Dennis Rodman, great, one of the top 5 greatest defensive players ever to play, one of the great rebounders of all time. But you know, he's not, you know, heck, Luke Longley, he's not, you know, Shaq. He's not one of these dominant big men. I mean, let's be real. He had Scottie Pippen, but we all know it's hard to win with 2 very good perimeter players and not much, you know, big men. And Jordan was a great low post player, you know, and he, you know, one thing he could do, he could fill in whatever the team needed, he would do. You know, I remember a player said that, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Scottie Pippen. He said that, you know, sometimes he would just say, "Get on my back, I'm going to carry you guys this game, or carry you guys this series." You know, and I laugh at, you know, some of these great players, or, you know, people saying that these players will surpass them. Man, if you have any knowledge or know anything about basketball, man, Jordan, his legacy, his standpoint on the game, he's the greatest, and I don't see nobody ever surpassing that, man.
That's true.
I mean, it's just. I'm sorry. I mean, I might be wrong, but I doubt that 1,000-fold.
And you know, someone pointed something out in the chat. Soap, I'm about to get you on, because I got a few things I want to say. Someone pointed something out in the chat saying LeBron's never had a big man like that. You know what, Brian? He's right.
He is.
I'm not putting Bosh as that big man, but
no.
2 things. Number 1, okay, yes, Michael Jordan was great with the media and the commercials and selling shoes, but never forget what he did on the court. Never forget what he did on the court. That's what I look at. I don't care about pansy-ass commercials, okay? But Magic Johnson said it best. He said that it was the drive, and I'm paraphrasing, the drive and the will to win that made him Michael Jordan. And then it was the athleticism and skill to win that made him Michael Air Jordan. He had that Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, will to win and winning instinct combined with all the hard work, like he says in that, speak of a commercial, like he says in that commercial, where he talks about, you thought it was just a God-given gift. And he talks about how he had to get into the gym and work for it. He's like, you think my highlights started at the free throw line? It started in the gym.
Yeah.
Great line.
Yes. And when those Detroit Pistons were beating up on him in those years, he said that he would get in the weight room and just, you know, get big and get strong because, you know, and even as just a sports fan, man, just like that kind of competitiveness, man, how can you not respect that, man? That's just something, like just, you know, just wanting to be better than other opponent. You will train, you know, you'll do your, you know, you'll get to that level by going harder in practice, going harder, you know, in the off season. I mean, that kind of stuff speaks volume to the, like, just, it's just amazing, man, to me, man, like how that competitive drive and the will to win.
That's right. You know what? Let's get Soap in on this. Just chomping at the bit. Hey, buddy, I know you want to speak on that. It's been a historic night here on the show. You will never find another place on the internet or the radio that has broken down the history of the game like we did right here tonight.
Absolutely, Bruce. Absolutely, Bruce. Very awesome list, by the way. I know you've done your homework. You've been doing this for years now, and you've definitely done your homework on it, and as you've always done before. Going with the MJ factor, how can he not be number one? I mean, seriously. The game, the legacy, everything overall, the competitive spirit, the fact that he brought it every team to understand. And Kenny Smith said this one time in commenting Jordan, and this is very true. He could have a bad shooting night, and he would still affect the outcome of the game. Like a 5 of 15 night, a 6 for 20 night, he still would be the deciding factor on either a Bulls victory or a Bulls loss by just affecting it with his defense. There is no player out.
Oh man, I can't hear him now.
Oh, Sopa?
Oh,
Is that him?
oh God! Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Also, one thing people seem to forget. Also, Jordan was scary. Jordan was scary when he had his back to the wall. In a game situation where the Bulls had their back to the wall, the guy came up guns blazing. I mean, he was just a machine. When I talk about Kurt back in 1989, he played with a pulled groin against the Pistons, and he dropped back-to-back 40-point games to draw the series even. It's just what he did was just to words how good he was. You can't. You really can't. And the YouTube videos, yes, they're fun to watch, but those little 15, 40-minute videos that we have on YouTube, it doesn't even come close to put in perspective of how good he was. It does not do him justice. And it's just, you can't even put him to work, guys. You really can't.
Yeah, I agree, man.
I'm with you 100%, man. And this is the way I've always put it. You got some hungry pit bulls in the game today. You really do. And we saw some fierce tigers in the history of the game. Jordan was like a starved lion with an insatiable desire and an insatiable hunger that could not be fed. It was never enough for this guy. He was crazy about wanting to win, wanting to be the best, wanting to be the best ever. And don't ever forget, it wasn't the free throw line, it wasn't the fadeaway, it was everything into one. But the fuel that motivated that factor was his determination, Brian, and his will. And you cannot, that doesn't show up in the stats. The guys we're putting, that I named in my top 10, that I named in the top 20, these guys all, in fact, everybody in the top 50 pretty much, their competitive drive is just off the charts, bro. Off the charts. But Jordan's was just on a different level, an unhealthy level. Really, it was unhealthy.
Yes. Definitely. I mean, definitely, man. And, it's crazy, man, because the dude, I mean, the thing, we can name so many of his performances, but that flu game, man, where he averaged 40 points in those flu games, that, man, who really could do that nowadays? I mean, I'm not even talking about the Dirk flu game, because Dirk, he didn't look sick. Michael looked sick on the court, and he still, I mean, that takes, you have to be really tough mentally. I don't care what he probably could have took some antibiotics, but still, I doubt those would help him at all. Even if, man, that's just a certain level of toughness I can't dream of having.
See, that's one game, but for me, it was his level of consistency as a Bull that sets him apart. And the thing that drove him to be that consistent was that competitive fire and that competitive drive. And I think that that's never stated enough. And then you get players of today who are aggressive and take shots, and then they try to compare the stupid killer instinct phrase that I can't stand. they try to compare their competitive drive to Michael. No, there's a flat-out obvious difference, and I can tell you that from seeing him.